Hello everyone, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to all of you on the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. I'm Gaurav Gupta and I'm one of the mentors of QA and LRDI with BYJU'S Exam Prep. And friends, today we are going to solve some of the questions that will help you in doing a proper revision for the upcoming examination of XAT 2024. I'm pretty sure that all of you must be well prepared. You must have taken plenty of examinations before. Definitely CAT, though, you must have written CAT examination, and the scorecards are also out for CAT. So our next big examination, XAT 2024, just 5 days away from today. So, in this period of time, yes, we'll be practicing some questions of quantitative ability that will help you in continuing with your revision for XAT 2024. All right. So, friends, all of you be ready. Just take out one sheet of paper. That will be enough to do the rough work for the questions that we are going to solve today. So, just take out one sheet of rough work and a pen. And in a few moments from now, we shall be starting with solving the questions. Now, I'll be displaying all these questions one by one, and we'll be giving you somewhere around 1.5 to 2 minutes to solve every question. Okay. Now, after this time, I'll be discussing the solution of these questions, and we'll be giving you the correct answer of these questions. Rishi, sir, you suggested us to attempt GK questions, but wouldn't it look like we are blank guessing and have a negative impression upon us? Okay, so Rishi, first thing is nobody is going to check the look at the negatives that you have in the GK section. Okay, now since like everything is computerized, so you will be getting a final score in GK, right? So you do not worry about that. Also, just understand like the benefit that you will get. Okay, so let's say you will leave 15 questions unattempted. But for these 15 questions, if you will mark flukes for each and every answer, okay, I'm not saying fluke, but in some questions it might happen that you are confused among two options. Okay, so let's say you are confused among option A and option B. So you will have a 50% probability that the question will be correct. Definitely, for getting incorrect, you will be having like 75% probability. Okay, right? But 50% probability if you are confused among two options. All right. Similarly, if out of these 15 questions, two or three questions are correct, then understand the benefit that you will have against that. Okay, so it will never give a negative impression, even if you will attempt majority or all the questions. All right. So please go ahead, since there is no negative marking, you must attempt all the questions. All right. All right, friends. So, friends, let's start with today's session. First question will appear on your screen in a few moments. All of you must be ready. All right. So, let's begin. The first question on your screen now. The question says that the percentage of metals in a mine of copper ore is 90 percentage. The percentage of iron is 4 by 5 percentage of metals, and the rest is copper. If the mass of ore extracted from this mine is 15,000 kg, then find the mass of copper. Now, quickly, just do a quick calculation here. You are given five options. Any answer for first question? This is just a question on calculations. Percentage calculations is what you'll have to do in this one. Any answer for the first question? Okay, I shall begin solving this one. Meanwhile, if you have any answer, please post it in the chat box. Now, important is the method. Total weight is 15,000, out of which the weight of metals is 90%. So I will not calculate 90%, I'll remove 10%. Okay, so this is what you'll have to do. So the weight of metals will be 15,000 minus 10%. Now 10% is 1500 and the weight will be 13,500. All right. So the total weight of metal is 13,500, and among these metals, there is some iron and there is copper. All right. So obviously the weight of copper, what they are asking, if the mass of the entire ore is 15,000, we'll have to find out the mass of copper. So the mass of copper is definitely less than 13,500 because the total metal is 13,500. So the answer cannot be more than 13,500. So I can eliminate two options, but I still have three options left. So there is no other way but to do the calculations. Now, metals is divided in two parts, iron and copper. All right. So this 13,500 will now be divided in two parts. One is iron, which is 4 by 5 percentage. Now, 4 by 5 percentage, that means 0.8 percentage, right? And the rest will be copper, that means 99.2 percentage. I'll calculate the value of iron, I'll calculate the mass of iron, and I will subtract it from 13,500 to get the remaining copper, which is 99.2. I'll not be calculating 99.2, I'll be calculating the remaining part, we'll subtract it from 13,500 and get the answer. Right? So, to calculate 0.8%, what will I do? I can calculate 1 percentage and then I can remove 0.2 percentage. So 1 percentage will be 135 minus 0.2 percentage. So 0.1 percentage is 13.5 and 0.2 percentage will be 27. So this will be the weight of iron. 135 minus 127, that is 108. All right. So अब क्या करना है? 13,500 में से 108 subtract करना है and that will give you the mass of copper. So 13,500 minus 108. You can do all these calculations orally as well. So this comes out to be 13,392. So 13,392, that is option B will be the correct answer of question number one. Okay, everything is calculations. I have written all these things. You could have eliminated this, writing this part. You could have directly written 13,500 and then should have removed 0.8 percentage from 13,500 to obtain your final answer. So the correct answer here is option B, that is 13,392. All right. Let's move on and look at second question. All of you, please be ready. Please be please solve these questions. So I have not got any answer of question number one. There are more than 20 students who are watching this session live and not even a single answer. क्या कर रहे हो यार? इतना easy question है. So come on, bug up, wake up and start solving these questions. Question number two on your screen now. I'll give you a little more time to solve this question. Now, generally, XAT के questions इतने ज़्यादा difficult नहीं होते, but they are lengthy. Okay, so the way you can see the language of this question, so language is simple, but it is lengthy. The question is lengthy. Okay, so let's read out this question. One container contains some milk and another container contains an equal quantity of water. Now, to prepare a solution, 40 liters of milk is poured into the second container. So, poured into the second container from the first container. Okay, so make a slight change. All right, so I've made a correction. So, to prepare a solution, 40 liters of milk is poured into the second container from the first container, right? Then, 3/4 of the formed mixture is poured from the second container into the first container. If now the mixture in the first container is 6 times that in the second, what is or what was the initial quantity of water in the second container? Good afternoon, Mukesh. Good afternoon. Now, generally, what I do in such type of questions is I keep the values or the volumes of milk and water separately. I will write them separately. Okay. But if you look at the last statement, which is given here, if now the mixture in the first container is 6 times that in the second container, so the relation between the entire mixture is given. They have not given any relation between the final milk and the final water of the first and the second container, or milk from the first container and water from the second container. They have not given it like this, right? So they have given a relation between the combined mixture, the total mixture of the first container with the second container. So there is no need to keep the volumes of milk and water separately. All right. So container number one, container number two, right? So let's say container number one has X liters of milk and container number two has X liters of water, according to the first statement. Now, to prepare a solution, 40 liters of milk is poured into the second container from the first container. So from the first container, 40 liters is removed and it is added in the second container. Done. So x minus 40 will be the quantity left in the first. X plus 40 will be the quantity in the second one. Done. Then what happened? 3/4 of the mixture formed is poured from the second container to the first container. So second container में जितना भी वॉल्यूम है उसमें से 3/4 रिमूव किया और उसको फर्स्ट कंटेनर में डाल दिया. So the quantity of mixture left over in the second container will become 1/4 of x plus 40. Okay, and first container will now have x minus 40 plus 3/4 of x plus 40, right? So this is the quantity of total mixture in the first and the second container. Now the relation, if now the mixture in first container, so mixture in first container is how much? X minus 40 plus 3/4 of x plus 40, right? This is what we have now in the first container. This is 6 times that of the second container. That means 6 times 1 by 4 of x plus 40. Okay. Now we'll have to find out the initial quantity of water in the second container. Okay. So I've got an answer from Om. Om says 200. Vrinda is asking something. My mock and PYQ score is stuck 25 with 30 corrects in 50 plus attempts. How to improve from here? If you may suggest some tips. Yes, Brenda. So please give me some time. I will definitely suggest you some tips, okay, which may help you in improving your score. Okay, just let me finish off with this question, and immediately once I'm done, I'll come back and will probably resolve your query. And I think this might be the query of a lot of students. Okay, चलिए आगे देखते हैं, यहाँ पे solve करते हैं. So simplifying this, x है 3/4x and यहाँ पे 6/4x. So it will go here. So 3/4x minus 6/4x, it will become minus 3/4x. So x minus 3/4. So x upon 4 will be on the left hand side. That is equal to, now you just have to simplify this equation. I'm doing it in my own way. This is a linear equation in one variable. Okay. Now it's totally up to you, whatever amount of time you want to take it. Okay. Try to take as much less amount of time as possible. Okay. On the right hand side, I have 60 minus 30 is 30 plus 40, 70. So the value of x will be equal to 280, right? Now let's see, what do we have to calculate? What was the initial quantity of water in the second container? Initial quantity of water in the second container was x. X is equal to 280. The correct answer should be option C. Gunja Vamsi and Ashish, both of you have given a correct answer. All right, good, very good. So at least some of the students are now giving me the answers. Now, Vrinda, you must listen to this. Now, one of the best way of improving is to practice questions. Okay? Now, what we are doing in this session, I am bringing some new questions for all of you in these sessions that we are conducting for XAT. So first, very important thing is, if you are attending, if you are present in this session, try and solve all these questions. ठीक है? And answer post करो. Okay? So बैठने से, समझने से, सिर्फ solution को देखने से improvement नहीं होगा. Until and unless you will not pick up your pen and start solving, there will not be any kind of improvement. All right? This is just a simple thing that you can do. Now we are left with 5 days, Brinda, and other students as well. So all of us are left with 5 days for XAT examination. Now, as far as the improvement in the knowledge is concerned, it will be difficult. Okay. So what do you have to do is, you will have to refine, you will have to basically make some changes in the way you are attempting this examination, right? One example is, let's say a student is attempting 50 questions, out of which 30 are correct. So here the accuracy is only 60%. Okay. Now, we are attempting 50 questions in 175 minutes. Obviously, that is slow. But if I'll keep my number of attempts same and will increase my accuracy, then this is one way of improving on the score. Now, how I can improve my percentage accuracy, right? So let's discuss on that for 1 minute. Now, out of 50, 30 are correct and 20 are wrong. So whatever mocks you have taken up till now, whatever mocks you have written up till now, just pick up all those mock papers and look at all the questions which you have attempted incorrectly. जो भी गलत, जो भी wrong questions attempt किए हैं, उनको देखो. Okay. So since you have attempted these questions, you must be confident in those questions कि यार ये तो मैं solve कर ही दूंगी. ठीक है? So just look at those questions and find out what mistake you have made in those. Okay. Now, doing this particular thing, doing a proper analysis of each and every mock that you have written will help you in increasing your score at least by 10 to 15%. So abhi agar 25 score aa raha hai, so you can easily reach a score of 30 marks if you will do a proper analysis of all the mock papers. All right. The second way is, you are attempting 50 questions. What you can do is, you can reduce the number of questions that you are attempting. Okay, so you can devote 30 seconds extra to each and every question that you have attempted. Okay, and whatever answer you have got, just cross check that answer once again. Okay, I'll go back to this answer. So I've got the value of x as 280. I'm just taking an example, small example. I've got the value of x as 280. Now, if in a hurry, you will not look at the last statement of the question and find out what is being asked. Okay, without looking at that, if you directly mark the answer, then it may happen that they have not asked you the value of x, they have asked you something extra, something different, which is dependent on the value of x. ठीक है, तो 280 आया x का वैल्यू और 280 ऑप्शन में देखा और डायरेक्टली मार्क कर दिया. दिस इज वन रीजन ऑफ अ रिड्यूस्ड एक्यूरेसी. ठीक है, सो आंसर निकाल लिया, 280 आया. स्टॉप, टेक अनदर 20 seconds and read the last line of the question and find out what they have asked and then mark the answer. Okay, so this will reduce your speed but definitely will increase your accuracy. The final step is whatever syllabus that you have covered up till now. In these last 5 days, don't solve anything new. Don't practice anything new. ठीक है, जितना solve कर लिया है, जितना पढ़ाई किया है, जितना studies की है, on the basis of that, revise the things. So whatever you have completed up till now, just revise some questions, solve some questions of those particular areas only. Fine. You have 5 days. You have 120 hours. All right. So make the most out of this 120 hours. Okay. Yes, Om, I will definitely try to conduct one session only on data interpretation. Fine. So I have seen your request and will try to incorporate it. All right. So friends, let's move on and look at question number 3. A shopkeeper sells two clocks for rupees 2100. The cost price of the first is equal to the selling price of the second. The first is sold at 25% loss and the second at 50% profit. What is the total profit or loss? Okay, let's start solving this. Now here we have two clocks, clock number 1, clock number 2, cost price of each of these clocks and selling price of each of these clocks. These four parameters will be used here. Okay. Now, proper way of solving this question. I can assume the cost price of first as x, right? X assume kar sakte hain, and the cost price of first is equal to the selling price of second. So selling price of second clock will also become x, right? And then you can calculate the selling price of first and the cost price of second using the loss and the profit that is given after selling the first and the second clock respectively. Okay. बहुत कुछ बोल दिया मैंने. Now, instead of assuming the variable as x, you can reduce the amount of calculations. Okay, I don't like fractions in my questions. Now, the cost price of first clock has to be assumed. That will become the selling price of the second clock. Okay, on the first clock, 25% loss is there. 25%, that means one fourth loss. So I should be assuming the cost price, which is a multiple of 4. First thing. Next, this same assumption will become the selling price of second clock on which 50% profit is there. 50% profit. After that, selling price is to be assumed. Okay, now 50% profit, that means 3 by 2 will be the selling price of the cost price. Now I have 3. Okay, so the selling price should be a multiple of 3. That means these two numbers should be multiple of 4 and 3. That means a multiple of 12. So if we'll assume these values to be multiple of 12, then the calculations will be easier. Let's see how. So I'll assume cost price of the first clock as 12x, which is equal to the selling price of the second clock. The first is sold at 25% loss. 25% loss, that means loss of 1/4. That means loss of 3x. So loss of 3x. So selling price will become 9x. Look at the second one. Second was sold at 50% profit. So if was sold at 50% profit, then the cost price will be 2/3 of the selling price. All right, 2/3 of the selling price, that means 8x. Clear? Now you can find out the value of x. First statement says the shopkeeper sells two clocks for 2100. So selling price ka sum 9x plus 12x is equal to 2100. So the value of x comes out to be 100. Done. So we'll have to find out the total profit or loss. Total cost price is 12x plus 8x, 20x, which is 2000. Selling price is 2100. So we have a profit of 100 rupees. So the correct answer should be option A. All right. So option A is the correct answer of this question, question number 3. Let's move on and look at question number 4. A person starts a journey in the morning. He covered 62.5% of the total journey till 8:25 and then completed his journey at 8:49 a.m. Next day, he starts his journey 30 minutes late but increases his speed by 14.28%. Then at what time will he complete his journey? His friends, any answer? No? Okay. We'll drive this question logically. Let's look at the first part in which we will find out at what time did he start. Okay? कितने बजे उसने start की थी journey? Now he covered 62.5% of the journey till 8:25 and he completed the entire journey at 8:49. So from 8:25 up till 8:49, how many minutes? In 24 minutes, he could finish the remaining part of his journey. That means 100% minus 62.5, 37.5% of the journey. Okay, समझ में आ रहा है ये? A person has completed 62.5 of his journey till 8:25. 8:25 तक 62.5% complete हो चुका था. So the remaining journey, 37.5% will now be covered in the next 24 minutes up till 8:49 a.m. Clear? Now, if 24 minutes he's taking for 37.5 percentage. So to cover 62.5 percentage of the initial part of the journey, he must have taken how many minutes? 24 divided by 37.5 multiplied by 62.5. अब 37.5 and 62.5 में से 12.5 कॉमन आ जाएगा, 3 and 5. Okay, so this will come out to be 8 into 5, 40 minutes. So 62.5 percentage of the journey can be completed in 40 minutes. Okay, so that means he must have started 40 minutes before 8:25. That means he must have started at 7:45 a.m. Okay, so this is the start time. I hope I'm clear up to this part. Done. So this is the start time. So now at this speed, what is the total time he has taken? He has taken 24 minutes plus 40 minutes. That is 64 minutes. So when he traveled at the normal speed, he took 64 minutes in total. Now, the next day, he started 30 minutes late. So that means instead of starting at 7:45, he started at 8:15. Okay, so today he started at 8:15, right? Now, if he'll go with the normal speed, he will take 64 minutes. Done. But today he increased his speed by 14.28 percentage. That means 1 by 7. So he increased his speed by 1 by 7. That means his speed today has become 1 plus 1 by 7. That means 8 by 7 of the original speed. Okay. Now, since speed and time are inversely proportional to each other, so today the time that he will take will be the reciprocal of 8 by 7. That is 7 by 8 of the previous time. Okay, and this time will be equal to 7 by 8 multiplied by 64. So 7 into 8, that is 56 minutes. So today he will take 56 minutes to finish his journey, and he started at 8:15. So 8:15 plus 56 minutes, the time will be 9:11 a.m. So today he will finish his journey at 9:11. Harsh, you have given this the correct answer, 9:11. Absolutely correct. So the correct answer here is option D. Okay. So starting from the beginning till the end, everywhere we have used the logic. Very less amount of calculation, pure logic is required. Okay. So that was question number 4. Let's go on to look at question number 5. Now, efficiency, the relation between the efficiency of two people is given and the number of days for one of the person is given, right? Now, Sam started working alone and then John joined him 6 days before the actual completion. Now, actual completion, you can assume whenever this type of language is given, actual completion of work, you can assume when both of them would have worked together till the end. Okay. Now Sam is 40% more efficient as compared to John. Okay, so 40% means 2 by 5. So Sam is 1 plus 2 by 5, that is 7 by 5 as efficient as compared to John. Okay, so Sam की efficiency कितनी है? 7 by 5 that of John. So Sam will take 5 by 7 of the number of days taken by John. So if John has taken 30 days, then Sam will take 5 by 7 of 30 days. That means 150 divided by 7 days. Done. This is the first thing. Okay. Now to find out if they will work together till the end, then what will be the number of days taken by them? Okay, so you can use fraction method, you can use LCM method. There are two different methods. Whichever you want, you can use. Okay, so I will use LCM method. So I'll assume total work as 150 units. If total work is 150 units, John's one day work will be 5 and Sam's one day work will be 7. So number of days when John and Sam are working together will be 150 divided by one day work of John plus one day work of Sam. That is 5 plus 7, 12. Okay. So this comes out to be 12.5 days. So if John and Sam will work together, they will finish the work in 12.5 days. Done? Okay. Now what happened actually? Now Sam started working alone and then John joined her 6 days before the actual completion of the work. So for how many days did Sam work alone? Now actual completion of work is 12.5 days. 6 days before that, that means 6.5 days. Okay. Now Sam started working alone and then John joined her 6 days before the actual completion of the work. Okay, so that means Sam, let's assume that Sam has worked for X number of days alone. Okay, यही find out करना है for how many days did Sam work alone, right? So Sam, let's say, worked alone for X days. Done. Now in X days, Sam can finish at a rate of 7x units of work. Okay. Now Sam started alone and then John joined her 6 days before the actual completion of work. So that means 12 minus 6, that is 6.5 days. Joined after 6.5 days. So they both must have worked for 6.5 days, right? So 6.5 days together multiplied by 12, and that should be equal to, so 7x plus 6.5 into 12 should be equal to 150. That is the total units of work, right? So the value of x, so 7x will be equal to 150 minus 72 plus 6, 78. Wait, 6 days before the actual completion of work. Nope. So let's say Sam worked alone for 7 days, right? Now John joined her 6 days before the actual completion of work. That means 6.5. Wait. Okay, so 6 days. So they will work together for 6 days because 6 days पहले join किया है, and in these 6 days they will finish 6 into 12, 72 units of work. So total work will be 150. So 7x कितना हो जाएगा? 150 minus 72. So x will be equal to 78 upon 7. So for how many days did Sam work alone? Sam worked alone for 78 upon 7. Options are given in mixed fractions, so it will be 11, 77, 1 by 7. So 11, 1 by 7 will be the answer of this question. Okay. आयुष, मैंने 150 assume किया. You're asking 150 कैसे आया? So 150 LCM, like I have assumed this 150 such that it is divisible by both 30 and 150 upon 7. So that was just an assumption. You could have assumed any other random number here. Okay, Ayush? So this 150 is assumed just to make the calculations look easy. There is no other reason for that. Okay? Okay, let's move on and look at the next question, question number 6. A lady purchased a pair of red gloves and some pair of yellow gloves. So we don't know how many yellow gloves she has purchased. The price of one pair of red gloves is double that of a yellow pair. While preparing the bill, the clerk interchanged the number of red and yellow pairs by mistake, which increased the bill by 50%. Now you'll have to find out the ratio of the number of red and yellow pair of gloves in the original order. Easy question. Now, number of pairs of red. So, a lady purchased a pair of red gloves. So, one and some pair of yellow gloves. So, let's say the number of yellow gloves is X. The price of pair of red gloves is double that of yellow. So, let's say price of one pair of yellow is Y. So, the price of one pair of red glove will be double of that. That is 2Y. Okay. Now, original bill. Now, original bill should be 1 into 2Y plus X into Y. Okay, so this should be the original bill. But what clerk has done while preparing the bill, clerk has interchanged the number of red and yellow pairs by mistake. So number has exchanged. So now the number of red pairs is X and number of yellow pairs is Y is 1. Okay, so the new bill is now equal to X into 2Y, that is 2XY, plus 1 into Y, that is Y. So this is the new bill. So the new bill is more than the original bill by 50%. So new bill 2XY plus Y is 50% more. That means is 3 by 2 of the original bill 2Y plus XY. Y will get cancelled. Okay, and I can multiply 2, cross multiply 2. So it will become 4x plus 2 is equal to 6 plus 3x. So the value of x comes out to be 4. Okay, now what do we have to calculate? The ratio of the number of red and yellow pairs in the original order. So original order, the ratio is 1 is to x, 1 is to x, that is equal to 1 is to 4. So 1 is to 4, that is option B, correctly given by Gaurav Jain and Shubham Agarwal. So two correct answers. Yes, the correct answer is option B. All right. So that was question number 6. Let's move on. All right. So friends, that was today the last question. Okay. So we shall stop here today with some information for all of you. So if you are not a student at BYJU'S and you want to just experience how our portal looks like, so you can unlock your 3-day free trial access for the same. Just visit our application, enter your mobile number and start your free trial. Also, you can enroll for non-CAT 2023 test series, which is curated by IM Alumni. Also, click on talk to our counselor on the application of BYJU'S exam prep to have a conversation regarding any of the inquiry you want to make about any of the courses that we have. Also, do not forget to join us on 7th of January for the first impression and the detailed analysis of SAT 2024. So, friends, that's all from my side. You can join us. You can follow us on all these social media platforms. Thank you very much. All the very best. We'll see you once again. Bye bye.